everyone. Welcome to another Coffee and Contemplation brought to you by Spotlight Recovery. I'm your host, Lucas. It is March 27th. Got to squeeze a quick one in here because I've got my own therapy to get to right after this. But it's a really nice topic in the title of Appreciating a Quiet Mind, which I think we all, like a lot of us, are really striving for in recovery. I know I am. That's one of the biggest goals and reasons as to why I do this. So, wanted to chat about it today. So, bring it on up and let's get into it. March 27th, we can appreciate a quiet mind. Many of us don't understand how to quiet our minds. We have grown accustomed to our minds racing from one thought to another and can't imagine any other existence. How would the people in our lives get along if we weren't constantly concerned and thinking about them? Learning to let go of other people, as suggested by our program friends, will free our minds to be at rest. We will also discover that we have more energy for accomplishing our own life goals, that we give up our obsessive thinking about other people's lives. Being quiet gives us the opportunity to notice the beauty around us. The birds singing, the flowers blooming, the snow falling, the rain cleansing the air in the streets. And even more, the personal blessings we each have received. None of us have escaped God's reach. Today, I will notice how God has been present in my life. Being quiet will open a channel to that knowledge. This inspiration is from A Life of My Own, Meditations on Hope and Acceptance. So, yeah, I just think this is really beautiful. Like, the end, it depends on the mood you're in, and I'm on that line of really appreciating that or feeling a little too much like hippie crap. But I'm digging it a little bit today. But it's however we feel about that and the wording or not, it is true, and it has rung true and been very much my experience. You know, my sponsor years ago, at some point when I was in earlier recovery, he told me, you'll get to the point where things start to look different. Like the world visibly looks different. Like you'll walk down the same street, a street you've known for years, and it won't look the same. I feel like you won't recognize it. You'll be noticing all these different things. New things will be standing out to you. And he was absolutely right. I didn't believe him. It tripped me right out. And it was so cool when it happened. And it took at least a couple of years in. I'd finished all my steps. Well, obviously, besides the maintenance ones that you keep doing. And it just kind of clicked one day. And it was really, really cool. And so without having a quiet mind, there's no way I was going to be able to accomplish that. And just this topic of a quiet mind, I think, like I'd said, I think it's one of the biggest goals I've seen for people in recovery that they're wanting to accomplish. And I know it certainly is for me. You know, it's especially really synonymous with drug addiction, specifically because you're just trying to find that way to chemically shut off the noise, shut down the noise. I think, and maybe it's not quite fully fair to not include behaviorally with that. I guess I'm just more connecting with my experience of chemically I can't shut the noise off in my head, so I need to douse it and just soak it in booze and whatever other drugs I was using. And that's what I've seen very commonly. So a lot of us are on this path of trying to find how to quiet our minds. How do we do this? And so I like that it at least just talks about the other outside aspects of it, of how would our relationships be if people weren't always so concerned about us and vice versa, and we weren't obsessively thinking about them, and then learning to let go of all of these things helps bring more quiet of our mind and more peace. Then it talks about in that third paragraph just on the things that we can notice and appreciate, what's going to come up and come from this as a result. And then the end of that paragraph, and then the last question there, which I forgot to italicize, bringing in the God piece. Just how it says, none of us have escaped God's reach, and noticing how God has been present in our life by being able to acknowledge and see all these other beautiful things in our lives, or being able to have this peace and quiet of mind as a result. I personally relate with that stuff. I'm a big God guy. Wasn't for a long time. But that and the spiritual aspect of a recovery program really connected with me. So I like that, and it helps give me just a deeper understanding and like appreciation for these things that I have, because I know and believe that, I know blindly, or not because of all the experience in my life, but I know that something is just looking out for me and got my back and taking care of me and helping provide me with all of these things. They're not just like coming out of nowhere. It's not chance. It's not luck. It's, oh, today I'm deserving and another day I may not be. Like, it's none of that shit. So that's something that I really like with it. The only thing that I just feel the reflection is lacking, and again, it's a reflection, but is just, how do we do this? I got asked that question earlier. Okay, I want a quiet mind. How? Lucas, tell me, how do I get a quiet mind? And there's not a lot of direction or like a tip in here necessarily. Learning to let go of other people. Okay, great. If I could just do that naturally, then I wouldn't need help and I wouldn't need a recovery program. People are like, oh, just let it go. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. I never thought of that. Like, it's just not that easy. It's just not that easy. So I want to leave you with a couple quick tips on this, on how to quiet that mind, on how to start doing things here daily. Setting aside for a good morning routine, setting time aside so you're starting your day off in that peace and quiet. You're putting some time, energy, and intention into genuinely channeling that. There's a link for it up here somewhere for a morning routine video that I've done, or it'll be at the end of the video as well. So check that out to give you some more ideas. But taking in time with that, so a really great time for meditation or mindfulness. If that's too hard to just sit still and quiet, then something a little more active like yoga, something that's slower, or like Tai Chi, like it's physically calming and focusing. So there's still some movement if you're too energetic, but it is more of a slow focus. For some people, also getting up and doing a really hard workout first thing then helps release a lot of that energy, and then they've got the quiet after. So you find what works for you. But setting aside that time in the morning before anybody needs you, especially connecting with your body, your breath, your mind, something physical, really good way to help start quieting that mind, and just making other good, healthy daily routines to keep doing it, including like an evening routine. That's a video I need to make, and sleep hygiene, things like this. What I've learned with creating a quiet mind and with meditation is the effects are residual. So it's not like I'm going to sit down, meditate today, and then my mind's going to be quiet. And then that should last me for a few days, and then I'm going to keep going. Like, no. It takes these routine daily practices every day, but the more I do them, the more that overall peace is going to increase from doing this. So there's that residual, like, compounding effect of doing these things every day. So there's a couple little quick tips for you to get started and really try them. Maybe make some more time if you need, or try something different if you feel it hasn't been working. Like I said, there's ideas in that video link that I'm putting in here. And then, of course, the other big ones are just doing a lot of the work. And that's a whole other discussion for another day because I got to go. But yeah, all your other recovery work, right? Working that program, therapy, meetings, step work, whatever other self-work, trauma work, journaling, lots and lots of stuff. Acquiring a quiet mind is work. And I guess that's what we'll finish on here. It is work. It absolutely is work, and it takes action on your part every day. But don't let that be discouraging, because you know that it can happen. And this is something that can happen for you. You just need to find the ways that do it. So in one way, it's kind of fun, because like now you kind of get to go on this adventure. Like you get to go explore now and learn more about yourself and find what's going to work for you to quiet your mind. So I'm excited for you. So highly suggested, get out on that journey today. Throw down in the comments what stood out for you in this reflection today. How do you help keep a quiet mind? Would love to hear some suggestions that can help some other folks. Doing all the YouTube things will help the channel if you're enjoying the content. So liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends and family. In the description, we've got some other free resources for you: recovery coaching videos, podcast, a blog. Everything's connected on our website. And lastly is I do recovery coaching with folks. So if you want some more in-depth work with somebody on how to learn how to quiet your mind more in recovery, I'd be happy to help. So my contact's in the description. Reach out to me. Would love to chat, okay? And then last, to support the channel and the growth, please consider donating, becoming a member, getting yourself some merch. It all really helps a lot. So have a great day. I'm wishing you a nice and quiet mind for your next 24 in recovery. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again tomorrow.